Hi, I'm Justin Grammons, CEO and founder of Lab 651 and author of the book Software Development Done Right. In this episode, I'll be talking about why it's essential that you release your software early to allow you to pick up treasure along the way. If you haven't picked up by now, I love developing software. I love everything from ideation and conception all the way to implementation and then release into the market. It just feels so good when I help a company move through each phase and get to where they want to be. However, one major stumbling block I see in clients that I've worked with is not shipping a product until they think every feature is done. If there's just one rule that I believe would have the biggest impact on the success of your product in the marketplace, it is not releasing early enough. In fact, there is a quote by a company that I have a tremendous amount of respect for called 37 Signals, and they are quoted as saying, "Build half a product, not a half-assed product." So let's consider this sailing metaphor that I continue to kind of go back to. Imagine you're sailing towards your destination, a treasure chest that contains the release of a perfect software product. However, every time you get closer, the chest is moved and you have further to sail. This is what it's like for those trying to release the perfect product. Instead, I suggest you settle for some small wins along the way. Get your product released, gain some treasure as you're continuing to learn and adapt, each time getting closer and closer to that perfect release that has everything you are wishing for. 37 Signals also did an interesting podcast, which we'll include in the notes below, on the principle of releasing half a product. Basically, their stance, and one that I agree with, is that you only have limited time, resources, and people, so you're going to have to remove some things along the way. To quote them, they say, embrace the editing process. And as a part of that, I like to talk about being extremely picky. So beyond removing things, I would go one step further, and that is don't even spend your precious time on extraneous features. Be extremely picky with each and every feature that you add. Because it's not only for this first initial release, it's also for version 2, 3, 4, and beyond. What are the basic minimums that you need in this next release? And I'll cover sort of how you decide those in a future chapter and video series, but let me give you a hint. It's the ones that are the simplest. Think about this. When you work with a team to build software, you should be well aware of the cost that each feature is going to have on the product, not only the time to deliver it, but also the work to maintain it going forward. And remember, SDDR rule number 1, software is never done. So each new feature you add is kind of like putting a charge on your credit card to be paid at a future date. Thus, you should be extremely careful about what you're willing to sign on for. Besides the cost to get you there, there's the other important piece, and that's time to market. There's a huge cost to being slow to market, and I like to tell customers in general, plan to release to the public with only about 70% of your feature list complete. People say, but Justin, 70%, that's just a passing grade. Shouldn't I be doing more? The answer bluntly is no. And actually, there's a study by McKinsey & Company that we'll include in the links below that found that a product that is 6 months late to market earns 33% less profit over 5 years. And those are some real numbers that can add up. So they should be a motivational factor in having you bring your minimum viable product to market as soon as possible. However, I continue to see it all the time. We can't release until X is done. People won't buy our product until Y is done. You know, are you sure about that? And I say, true. I don't know your customers, fair enough, but I know that your customers won't buy a half-assed product, and that's guaranteed. So I hope in this lesson I have shown why building half a product is actually okay. Through this process, you will pick up some treasure along the way. And the point here is to be working with your crew and your team to continually strive for fully completing a small number of features done well and released over a large number of features that are just half-baked. Hope you've enjoyed this video and chapter on releasing early and often, and a quick reminder to please subscribe to this channel below and to be kept up to date on future episodes that I'll be publishing as we work through the Software Development Done Right series. Good luck and happy sailing on your way to your successful software product release.